Alright, we're back with Neo 1. Still trying to figure out why he takes so much damage. Probably gonna start off looking for more of these clothes. Actually, super confident we can do that right now. I was, however, informed that my apparently defense value is extremely important. We're going to leave everything alone right now. And just hope some of this Onmyo armor drops from people, because right now that's the only way we can get it. This game does have smithing texts. We can find those, but I've never been able to get those to drop. They're like really low.
ヤヒコ、どこなの？私がわからないの？
Still take a lot of damage, even after changing our pants. Now I expect that guy to shot. Wow. That was incredibly too much effort for that guy. This little umbrella dude can be a problem if you let So taking them out before they become a problem is usually the best idea. Change mic setups.
Should make sure that mic works. Mic test. Okay. We have sound again. Xcode, not giving you fair warning yet. He was showing up. My wife is being very supportive right now. I don't even know if those pop up for everybody else. I know I can see them on my screen. There we go. Have I picked up anything good? That's somehow not as good as it could be. Or anyone who's not in chat asks, no, I don't remember where I'm going. This mission always looks like the exact same spot I'm in the whole time. Oh, wait, we found some stairs. These are stairs that I've already got up. Kill the excitement. I've already gone up those stairs. What? Oh, okay. I didn't go through this doorway right here. There we go. Now we found progression. Oh, hold,
You were a ginger with the big boobs.
Oh my god.
A message from Alexa.
But I am a ginger.
But you don't have big boobs.
I do not have big boobs.
Because you have a wife who has big boobs.
It's why,
the same thing.
it's why all my hot tub streams are done in game.
She said so.
Oh, it's just one of these guys.
It was
We
literally,
don't care about these guys. Let's get no problem.
It was literally the conversation about how Buffalo Wild Wings has the vibe of people get drunk, and I was like, I didn't get that vibe. And then they were like, well, you didn't get that vibe because you weren't drinking. And I was like, well, he didn't get that vibe. And he was drinking. And she was like, well, that's because he's a ginger. And I was like, so gingers can't get that vibe? She's like, no. Gingers can get that vibe. But he doesn't have to.
Buffalo Wild Wings, the restaurant?
No.
I was very confused. I thought we were
Ryan,
saying
are
that-
you trying to say it doesn't have the vibe?
No. If I was thinking about no drinking, I'd rather go to like no. Gosh darn it.
Gosh darn it.
Oh, new information. Apparently, my defense value is the key factor in taking damage or not.
Yeah.
Apparently, your defense value is actually the most important thing to damage mitigation in this game. Now, granted, they said if you plan to get hit. You know,
If you
obviously,
plan to get
not
hit.
getting hit is the most effective way to mitigate damage.
Oh, if you plan to get hit.
I'm really glad that burn does recurrent damage. Otherwise, we may have had an issue for a second.
私はこんな
Alright, let's see. We got none of the stuff we wanted. Not even a little bit. Now, they didn't say, like, every point mattered, so apparently, you know, I don't need to just be like, oh, let's put on this Psycho armor right now. Although it does give me 42 life, and that would be pretty sweet. But apparently, just raising that defense number right there is the most important thing when trying not to take damage when you do get hit. I keep waiting for Connor to appear on stream. All the skill points. Wow. Why can't I get that? Oh yeah, we got the thing.
Oh no. Who's done this to you?
I don't know what magic we need. Oh wait, yes I do. I almost made like bad decisions.
You
Oh,
don't
God.
know what magic means.
Everyone showed up.
Why do you not know what magic you need?
I do. I just forgot.
Why do you not have steel talismans, man? How else are you gonna increase your defense value? Where are we? Oh, you're on third continent, ain't you?
Yeah. Oh god, why do I have so many prestige points? What did I do? Why did I lose 4? I thought you only did 3 things. I've apparently been neglecting my prestige prestige points.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh god,
Oh yeah.
I remember this mission. Is it just Dude and the spirits, or is it like, is this another mission of waves of things?
I think this is
I mean, this is Big Dude on Bridge.
this is Big Dude on Bridge, but there is stuff that spawns while you fight Big Dude on Bridge. The response I got to Ryan said no. Buffalo Wild Wings was Buffalo Wild Wings is for sports fans, divorced dads, and desperate women.
Fair.
What's attacking this?
Big Dude on Bridge. Yeah, someone sat there and someone said, "Man, this thing I'm about to put on this helmet, it's so good that it's worth making a whole damn mission for."
Wait, is it only like armor piece? Helmet?
No, I believe that's like the key point of this whole setup is because I forget what the helmet does, but whatever the effects is on the helmet is what's like, oh yeah, man, this is how you be a big man in this game. Elixir user. Who'd have thought?
I don't feel like I deserve to be hit there.
Man,
real.
the tracking on that was it's pretty spicy.
I have gone to jail 4 times and I wasn't there.
Oh no. Oh no. I know what she's playing now. The Facebook ad's got her.
Oh, half HP. Time for the head. The best part of this mission.
At least beat to him.
Now, Sean's not playing online, guys. So, if he was playing online, this bridge would be riddled with revenant graves.
Wait, that's a thing?
Oh, no, that's just,
Oh.
it was just always.
Oh no, I know what you're saying now.
I don't know why this mission is just notorious for being a piece of shit.
I mean, I think every time I beat this mission, it's just because I knock him off the bridge. Step 1, be good. Well, I mean, this guy's just dumb because I mean he has an axe and he just always does this much damage. step 2, don't be bad. Oh, you know, I failed on that just immediately because I immediately was bad. Like, you saw me press all the wrong buttons right there.
Oh.
What does the helmet do?
Plus 40% total toughness.
Oh god. What if you just had double poise?
Ooh, there we go. There we go.
I should
Watch
have
yourself, the head's coming.
Ah.
They got you in the loop.
I don't want to be in the loop. Now imagine doing this with a light weapon. I think that might be the first time I've legitimately killed that boss on our first run. On New Game Plus, he's not that bad. So what, just his helmet does that? Total fight. Yeah, that was actually a pretty good fight. I don't think I've ever, like, actually fought him like that. 40%, that's just fixed on there. It's pretty dumb. It's not even that, like, that heavy because the helmet. It's not like, I mean, I could slap that on. If I just need 10 stamina. I think I already have, like, 8. Change to defense spirit? Does he have a spirit? Who even is that guy? I've never actually paid attention to that character's lore.
As far as I know, the lore of this mission is literally just something was going on the bridge. Turns out that some warrior spirit is just like whacking people on the bridge, and you showed up and said, "Hey, stop that." At least I believe that's what the MO of this mission is.
Yeah, no, normally that fight ends in me either. I think one time I had to come back with Moon Shadow, and that made it bearable. But I think usually what I do is, do we need to respec? Normally what I end up doing is knocking him off the bridge. I think we might respec. We might roll 50 though. I don't really have the armor I want to do that, so I'm probably just going to keep dumping points into this stuff. Might switch my strength and skill.
Yep, double check the flavor text. Yes,
We're gonna go ahead
exact situation.
I'm going to go ahead and do one of these.
Hanzo literally sits there and is like, "There's a ghost on the bridge. He's wrecking people that try to cross it. William, get the bum of that."
Well, I found out that apparently defense is extremely important. Like, the defense number is just highly important for some reason. Which, you know, sounds like it should make sense. But apparently I didn't think it made sense. How much heart did I lose in this exchange? I didn't pay attention to how much I had. Yeah, that's me. We'll drop our spirit back down there. We want 15 heart. Oh, you know what? We probably need skill for our armor. Okay, we'll drop this to 5. How much? Okay, we have enough skill. Rest in Dex. We want to get that to 10. It's on the list. It is on the list. I don't know if that means anything to you, but it's there on the list. Does that make you feel better? I mean, that you would actually have much more insight if I were playing that game as to why I wasn't doing damage. Versus this game where it's just a mystery to me. Actually, I do okay damage right now. I'm not gonna wear Genji armor. What am I doing? I'm not wearing Rifle Captain's armor. What am I doing? And it's still there. It hasn't left the list yet. If I go back to it and it doesn't impress me when I change builds, then, you know, it might leave the list.
Are you done?
Dragon's Dogma.
Oh.
I need you to go back and finish reading Chainsaw Man, so there. We'll see who breaks first. If you do myself a large service for what? I mean, if I go back to it and I still don't like playing it, I'm not going to keep playing it. I'm going to leave that because I actually need some equipment to drop. That's not what I'm wearing. Human equipment drop rate. We'll just leave it, but I don't want it. I think I just dumped every piece of equipment that I wasn't using. Oh, my weapon's not that underleveled. I think Raikiri is, though. Nah, Raikiri is fine. Raikiri is fine for what we're using Raikiri for. But we need to level up our armor. Yeah. Leveling up our armor is probably a good idea. Yeah. We can't afford to level up our armor.
Yikes. That's some rich stuff.
Okay, so we're not leveling up our armor. We're just going to take more damage.
Let's go. He's the boy. The man that inspired me to drop X and pick up Spear and then beat the game.
His armor is pretty good. I can't remember why it's pretty good. But I did like run his whole set once for a little bit. They actually are in this game because they oh no, I forgot to reallocate all my because this game is dumb. Well, no, in this game, spears are just really good. Yes, objectively, spears are really good weapons. I'm not denying that. It's a stick but sharp, yes, and that is good.
Kyle, the most important thing is that there is a weapon skill that Spear has that is literally a two-part combo. The first swing is a wide arc horizontal, and then the second swing is a downward strike. The downward strike on regular human enemies puts them in a knockdown state, which then gives you an immediate opportunity to stab them for critical damage because they're knocked down.
So whenever you use a respec item, it just makes you have to respec everything. I mean, 50,000 illiterate with pointy sticks. I don't know. Who wins? You tell me. I feel like pointy sticks always win. Pointy stick OP. You're right. So it got banned?
And this has been my TED Talk. And what?
Reduces damage from yokai by 5%. Say no more. And then respec all the ninjutsu. Here, look at that. Historically, it was really common for nobles to ban peasants from owning spears. But yeah, you don't want your dudes having pointy sticks, especially not if you don't have pointy sticks. That's the worst time for people to have pointy sticks. Sticks OP, you are right. Sticks OP got nerfed.
That's a real life nerf right there, guys. Those are rare.
Are they?
They are.
Are they?
I mean, look at Simone Biles. She got nerfed in real life. They literally looked at her and said, "No, too broke. Time to nerf her."
She willingly takes a half-point deduction for having her coach stand on this mat for safety reasons.
So broke. All I heard was, "So broke." She walks in and says, "I do what I want."
Now I gotta ready all our jutsu one more time, and we can get back to the fighting stuff that you all came here to see. Stabby oak pokes. Let's see. Get one of these on, get one of those on, get one of those on. We'll save that one. Simone Biles is selling at qualifiers that only one man has attempted in competition.
He's right.
What was this?
Yachenko double a pike off the vault.
Again, so broke, we had to nerf her.
She's also the only woman to, the U.S. gymnastics team is now the only team ever to win 7 consecutive world championships. But the men medaled. They placed bronze. I'm like so excited for Yul Moldauer.
About to be named Biles 2 if she lands it at Worlds.
She did. She already did. She's got 5 skills named after her.
Oh shit. I thought it was 6.
She has 5, 2 on the floor, 1 on the beam, and 2 on the vault.
In conclusion, broke.
She's the GOAT.
You know, someone said that once. They literally said, "How you broke in real life?"
You're Simone Biles.
Like, where they do that at?
Her floor routine was flawless.
No world record for most moves named after a gymnast. She does for women, but one man has 7 moves named after him.
Yeah, Japanese guy, whose name I can't remember. Might be Koei Uchiha. Might be him.
I did not realize the amount of people in my repertoire who apparently know so much about gymnastics.
I literally, we were talking about this today. I have the 1996 Atlanta Olympics taped on VHS somewhere in the realm of my parents' house. I video recorded it to a VHS.
I could have sworn there was an option to increase the amount of shortcut buttons I have, but maybe that's a beat the game option.
They're not real, man. Like God literally looked at them and literally said, "The sliders, just bump them all up." I think not.
He's convinced that Simone Biles and Katie Ledecky were made in a laboratory.
Katie the Techie.
They were born in the same year. He doesn't think this is a coincidence. Alright, so now I got like all sorts of things set up, and we're going to see if we made mistakes. Who's Katie Ledecky?
Swimmer.
Can we wear this? You were too slow. She answered first. This increased my key recovery speed. It's a pretty good ability. Oh, plus 40% toughness. What's my toughness at right now? So right now it's 147. Or this is 166. What did we just lose?
Your bonus.
Close combat damage when enemies electrified. I am not getting a bonus for close combat damage right now because I don't have Raiken.
Correct.
Oh no, I'm getting the close combat damage. I'm not getting increased attack and defense.
Yeah.
But I'm getting increased defense.
Like 7 pieces.
Yeah,
Oh, as a bow. Okay.
as a bow. I think as an accessory.
No, it's just a bow and a sword.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. Bow
Oh,
and
and a sword. I wasn't paying attention to what you were actually saying. I was just pretending to have
I was
conversation.
sitting there, I was like, 7? What's the 6? 7 now?
Alright, so this mission is not fun.
This mission's great.
This mission is not fun.
You can breathe the greatness in this mission.
If you have arachnophobia, this mission is very not fun.
この城の主何でも敗戦の際高名な茶器と爆死したとか茶器と新人とは
Anyone in chat got arachnophobia? If you beat it fast enough, can I beat this mission before my arachnophobia kicks in?
Someone just told me, make sure you figure out the thing. I don't want you to be done right. And I'm like, they already done us dirty. There is no be done right.
I don't even know what you said wrong because I saw starts both times. But I could be dyslexic. Kyle, where's Connor? I don't want to go to the store yet. I mean, I guess. You would know better than I would.
To each his own.
Well, I'm not getting elixirs right now because I don't have any Kodama.
To each his own. I said that last time.
What?
I literally said the amount of elixirs you have at base is based on the Kodama you have.
Yeah? That's why I said I don't have any, because I don't have any Kodama in this region. I can't remember how to get up where I want to be. I also can't see. Okay. Can I not go up the way I want to go? Do I have to go across the bridge?
Yeah. We have to go up the ledge.
You have to go up the ledge.
Because when you go across the bridge, you need to go straight and you go left. To your left.
I want to go up to the left. I want to go this way.
Go that way.
Oh no, you can't tell me what to do. That's what we're here for. Oh no!
Ooh, that's not a spider.
I wish it was.
I think we all do.
Oh god. These guys are Kyle.
Man, speaking of phobias,
They're monks that come in that just run up and start throwing hands for no reason.
speaking of phobias, they're terrifying. Man.
In Neo 2, they're like laughably not an issue. If I remember right. I think they're hardly in Neo 2. If I remember correctly, they're like just not even like an issue. Does this mission have a rolling rock? Does someone push a rock at me at some point?
Okay. Not sure.
Man, but like, people are saying ginger. Come on. They're saying ginger, hard R. Not in this chat, but you know, like all the other chats. It's been said in chat at least once every stream, I think. That's dumb.
Like, you did.
I should have died. I'm not really sure how I survived that one because I thought I just mistimed that. Why is that door locked?
You gotta like break the seal by killing the big spiders.
No.
Another mission?
No. There were big spiders, but I thought I had to go up there to fight one of the big spiders. I thought there was a big spider up here. That's the whole reason I went up.
I'm not triggering.
I was trying to get all the big spiders.
I'm not triggering.
You're supposed to get all the big spiders. But I thought I was going the way to not get the spiders so that I wouldn't not get the spiders. Feel me? And if you can't be racist towards non-humans, then what is all of fantasy fiction? Oh, there's a spider.
Yeah.
Oh god. Why am I taking all the damage from spiders? William has arachnophobia.
Ooh, you did.
I'm dead. Gosh darn it. Ding dong darn it.
Someone will call an ambulance.
That's a rust candle? I do. I'm not. Oh, there is a rock. I thought there was a rock. Casting is so slow in this game. That's why I don't like doing it until I get some stuff that says casting is as fast as you can press the button. Which ones? The ones that I'm throwing out? I mean this? There's like a timing to that, and I don't remember. The big guys? Well, I used a talisman on him to make him that slow. He's usually much faster. This talisman right here makes things like stupid slow. That way you can just kind of like see their tails coming from days and not get hit by them. That's what I thought. Be better, Kyle. That's a bunch of defense we don't need. But that's like a bunch of defense. But then we're gonna be heavy. I don't like being heavy. Being heavy is gross. So wait, are elixirs based on Kodamas per region or just Kodamas in general? Like total Kodama? Dang it, I missed that guy. I'm not sure how much of a pain it is to get back up to him. No, not another one. And there we go again. God, that's unfortunate. That's because he like three-shot me. Like half the other dudes I fight. Good three-shot. So I'm gonna figure that one out. Apparently my defense number is just too low. I just need to start equipping all... I can, but then I'm going to be heavy. Like I can do this and have 150. But then I'm gonna be like, oh, I don't know, I'm getting slower. I'm doing a magic build, not a stamina build. See, look how much slower I dodge. Look at that. You see the difference there? How am I supposed to dodge with like little tiny, you know,
That's a man with like 3 very, very long swords.
The
attached
swords
to
don't.
him.
The swords don't weigh anything.
Says you.
The game says the swords do not weigh anything. You know, if I thought that I could just shoot guys with magic and just profit, I would. But it's too early in the game for that. I do not have the resources just to not run out of magic. Now in Dark Souls, the swords weigh stuff. Which means if you want to use big swords, sometimes you gotta not wear a shirt. I'm surprised that didn't kill me. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. I mean, I already respect, like, 20 minutes ago. But, I mean, yeah, you just have to have money. No. No, I can run a mage build, but it has to be melee mage build. The game, for some reason, thinks the progression is hit stuff with your weapon and magic on it, then fire magic at range. I guess it's like, because if you're gonna invest like a bunch in magic, then obviously you just want to be a mage. But if you want to just have magic, then you can invest less in your magic and just put fire on your sword and hit things with fire sword. Haven't seen a shrine in a minute. I mean, I'm still not entirely sure why I'm being 1-3 shot. I mean, I guess I could stick heavy armor on. Like, even then, I'll just eventually be heavy. I have to press the block button. I don't like pressing the block button. Who likes blocking? You're gonna make my eyes bleed? Why? Because I'm not blocking? Can't block. Actually, I probably could. My armor's heavy enough. Yeah, no, that didn't seem too, that didn't seem too good. See, I did a bunch of damage there. I whiffed that dodge. I pressed that button after I got hit.
殿この城をお守りください
I'm fairly certain even if I put heavy armor on, I'm only buying myself another hit.
当家代々の死だ織田になど渡してなるもんかこの命に変えても拙者がお守りいたす
What he said.
He said stuff.
この糸を伝えは下のお宝が
Heavy armor means more defense. The only other way I'm getting a bunch of defense is if I can actually reliably find these. Because these have changed defense magic, so the higher I raise my magic stat, the more defense I have. But these are so random at this point in the game that I'd almost be better off doing this, but I'm not raising spirit right now. Because I don't need to, because it's kind of a useless stat. At least this early on, until I have a spirit I want to change to. But for some reason, this armor set doesn't drop except for mage enemies, which I don't know if it's this region or next region where we'll start seeing those. But and you can get smithing texts for those. But the one time I tried, I just never saw the smithing text. Because it's just a really rare drop from a really random enemy. That is not plentiful in the game. I can also use buffs, like I'm doing, but the steel talisman up there doesn't last very long. It takes forever. I have to stand there and, cast it forever. So I wouldn't really call that a very consistent method of no die. So right now, my most consistent method of no die is an armored set that doesn't drop from like anything. This game really wants to drop spiders on me. I'm not sure if I just have like better armor decisions in Neo 2 or what. For some reason never have this, you know, get two-shot problem in Neo 2. I love all these areas with just locked doors I can't go through. It's my favorite. I just love it when a game just sticks like 92 doors in front of me I can't go through. Hot tub stream! And I can't remember which way to go. I remember that it's a direction. I'm wearing a mix of, I have the Warrior Monk's hood because it didn't put me in the heavy and gave me a lot of toughness. I'm wearing the Warrior of the West armor mostly, and the Anyo Mage Sukhan Hakama. The Anyo Mage Hakama is what I could use a full set of, because then I can just build my magic and my defense will start scaling off magic. But like I said, not a consistent, no consistent way to farm that. Which way do I go? That just leads me back over that way. That door doesn't open. There's nothing down there. This door is locked. I have to open it on the other side. I have the key to Castle Gate. Maybe the door up here is not open now.
Nice, yeah, I vaguely remember this question.
That's a dumb. No, break is like. George, you remember what break does exactly? Because it's kind of weird. Like, there's like a break stat, which is for like guard breaking.
Stat, yeah. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, break is a stat that increases basically the amount of key damage you do when someone blocks your attack.
I mean, their stats are kind of fixed, but you can also level up all your gear. So I can see why that might be hard to find. And no, the Neo 1 wiki is still kind of barren.
It's kind of
After Neo 2 came out, it just kind of got abandoned. And I mean, Magic is it's good in this game, but not as good as it could be. And it's just a lot better in Neo 2. Mostly because there's no weapon that just inherently scales off of magic. I'm gonna whip that dodge every time. How about that? What if I just whip that dodge every time I try it? And again, you...
yes. Again,
Nothing has a fixed
Kyle,
number.
if you go to the wiki expecting it to look like a Dark Souls page, I'm sorry, you won't find it.
That's a boss room.
Yes.
Where's the boss room up? Wait, there should be the drop down with the shrine. Yeah, I'll risk it. Yeah, I don't think it is. Yeah, I was wrong.
I told you.
It's fine. I might not die to this boss.
Hi. Right.
What?
Hi.
That's gross.
Yeah, that's what I said, Tom. That's what I said. But, apparently, we just never got there.
That might be the first boss we first tried. It is like one of the easiest bosses in the game. It technically has a mechanic, but I've never actually engaged with that mechanic.
Ring. The man rung a bell, and now you're in the middle of tea house.
This is some like online street cred. Oh man, online street cred mechanic, where if you fight a bunch of revenants or go online and play a bunch, you can get gamer points basically, and turn them in for prizes.
茶もわからぬか。まあよい。お主に今日が湧いたわ。この茶室好きに使うがよい。主君を殺め、将軍を殺め、大仏を焼き、山岳を成したと信長に言わしめたこのわしが主ごときに見えると思うたか。わしのことは男女とでも呼ぶがよい。
So Kyle, are you gonna data mine Neo 1 to get the answers? Lame. I mean, I could try not getting hit. That's an option.
It's a revolutionary strategy.
Right, that's the best I got at the moment for some reason. I could go farm armor that I can't farm, but that just doesn't seem appealing. Right now, I'm trying to find out which one of these gives me take less damage. That's what I got right now.
Oh yeah, I forgot all of those had like 2 bonuses. And one of them was stupid. Because there's one that's just like,
don't care about your ninja magic, Hanzo.
Looks like he's using any of that magic until now. Ooh. I'm gonna do that one too.
No time for wool gathering. Hanzo, I think that's racist. Hey, Terminal 1, can you ban Hanzo for being racist? I know he's an in-game character, but that should be doable. He didn't say ginger. He said something about wool gathering.
Oh yeah, Toto. Toto's the one that's dumb if you're playing tank. Increase life stamina. D-, because anything more would be stupid. And then attack heavy armor plus 2%. Which again, like I said, you know, it's D- because anything more would be dumb. And yes, I'm implying that literally having like a C for change attack stamina, change life stamina, stupid.
I don't like things with axes.
Axes, man. Big swing.
Isn't it another find the right hair trip mission?
Mm-hmm. Oh, something like that. I vaguely remember this mission, and I remember it being a pain in the butt. Yes, this is that mission. You have to find the right. You have to find the right treasure chest.
Which one's that?
I was not looking. But apparently, you're right.
Easy mission. Sometimes the game's got throw you some easy missions. Oops. Another thing I can do is increase my body,
いらっしゃい
so I can just have more HP. But I don't really think it's like that low right now.
I mean, Monk, to just like bring up something, because I was just sitting here trying to find information about something. I found someone talking about it, not on Reddit, not on the wiki, on GameFAQs.
Oh yeah, GameFAQs forums, baby! I can lose defense and then have a bonus that gives me more defense when I kill something.
Oh, and to clarify what I was trying to look up, I was trying to look up key reduction status element. Just because I wanted a specific about what it did. Especially considering that damage reduction status element is a point of contention and confusion. Because if I told you that this item has damage reduction status element, what do you think it does? Do you think that it increases the amount of damage something takes? Oh no. Do you think that it lowers the amount of damage something you're fighting does because you put it under a status? Do you think it lowers the amount of damage you take because you're under a status?
I assume me.
Funny enough, Sean, apparently it does lower the amount of damage you take because you're under a status, instead of lowering the amount of damage something does because you put it under a status. And I don't know if like the help text makes that clearer.
Wait, why does that have change defense magic fixed on it?
Because it's the heavy armor magic set.
Why haven't I been using this?
I don't know, because it takes Spider's leg to
Yep,
make it.
that's inconvenient. It's only on the chest, isn't it?
What? No,
Yep.
it's on the gloves too. And it's on the pants.
No, it's not.
Oh, you're talking about... Oh, yeah, it's only on the chest. I thought you were talking about the spider legs.
I forgot I was supposed to be doing this. I know you guys came for the menuing. Sure. I'm gonna leave that. It's not what I want. I'm gonna leave that. There we go.
アンジンの国にはどんな刀があるの？
Alright, we're gonna leave that one for right now. Right.
Fun fact, cannot confirm or deny it after reading stuff off of the game facts about this ability, but it would be interesting if I had a clear answer that said that buffing yourself triggered this effect. Because buffing yourself is something that they were arguing in this thread about being a status element.
Alright, really doing the menuing this time. Does armor have familiarity in this game?
I believe.
No.
Correction. I think it doesn't get it until you get green.
That's dumb. How do these work?
I can't remember. I want to say it had something to do with either killing something or using ice on it. Okay, so it has to do with something killing something. So I want to say that was the annoying part of this mission. that you had to find the dude.
Alright, someone say something about Pokemon. Maybe it'll summon Carter in the chat. And I can watch Kyle and Carter interact.
開墾遠さ来た無数の亡者どもの面が一体渦巻いてる
I'm good though. Define interesting. I think we have different definitions on this one. I don't make sure.
I mean, in my opinion, based off of my definition, nothing he said was false. I can definitely say riding around a city with 3 random rivals who are all really bad riding a go-go definitely didn't make me say, ooh, looks like fun.
Oh look, there he is. Man, you can just open multiple tabs. Let's see, that's about Pokemon. He just spawned in. I know, I'm very proud of this. I didn't think it would.
Oh yeah, you have to get rid of the butterflies.
Now you have to use the butterflies. Damn it.
I don't know, because butterflies give you things. But the thing when you hit them with, you just fight it yourself. But the butterfly buff is separate special water buff, or water buff just isn't enough.
I know.
About that ether. I mean, you know, like I said, as far as I'm concerned, nothing he said was false. Like I said, riding around on the go-go with 3 rivals that all don't know what the fuck they're doing.
What are you talking about?
X and Y. With a team that apparently is the worst. Because, you know, I still, to this day, don't know Lysandri's plan. And every time someone mentions an aspect of it, I'm just like, sounds stupid.
He wants to kill all Pokemon to create world peace. Yeah, the Gen 5 legendaries were pretty cool.
Are you skipping that, Kodama?
What Kodama? Oh, he was hiding. I didn't see him.
And then, you know, Gen 7, you know, coolest team, coolest leader. badass theme. But you know, the whole Kuda thing kind of was a Not to mention on top of the Kuda thing, you know, just overall, total Pokemon were also kind of
I thought I could out DPS him.
Now, Team Heal isn't horrible, and you know, I guess Marnie is a waifu? Question mark. And I guess being the most illogical character is slightly entertaining. So I mean, if anything, in terms of interesting, in my opinion, Gen 8 was, you know, kind of interesting. No, but they're the one I care about because the other one doesn't matter. Because you know, to that group's credit, once again, it was so interesting watching this random ass bait and switch by someone's mom. Which also, doubling down on that, speaking of characters that kind of ruin the adventure. Which definitely wasn't the one putting his hand on his face. That guy made the adventure.
Good old Edgy the Hedgy.
Whoa there, son. I don't know about that. He's alright. Better than most. Okay, that makes sense.
Did he mention? Has he mentioned recently that he's a champion? Find compelling opponents.
Thank you, Monk, because you've given me the opportunity to talk about how an individual is technically not Mono Dragon. He is literally listed as a Mono Dragon trainer. Everyone literally frames him as a Dragon trainer. In the game, he is known as the Dragon Trainer Lance. But in the grand scheme of things, Lance's team is not Mono Dragon. This man uses 2 to 3 Dragonair or Dragonites, 1 Charizard, and an Aerodactyl, and a Gyarados. Lance is not a Dragon trainer. He's a flying type trainer. He is mono flying, not Dragon.
Gen 1 only has 3 Dragon types.
It doesn't matter. His team is Dragon Pokemon, not Dragon type Pokemon. So his team is literally a Charizard, Aerodactyl,
why am I running in
Gyarados.
circles? Yeah, but you don't even fight Alder in Black and White.
Exactly. Yeah, well, yeah, that in itself gets this man out of this conversation. Because this man doesn't even get a chance to fight you because the plot says, "Ooh, look at me, I'm busting through the door."
That doesn't count.
It does not usurp the fact.
I think that's unfair.
It does not usurp the fact that this man literally is supposed to be the best trainer in the league, and a boy walked in with a legendary and said,
Yeah, because he's not even the champ. You only fight. I don't even think you fight him in Black and White 2, because I think he just shows up in a scene. It's already what's her face.
"Wow, ooh, this encounter is ass." Yes, but again, N does nothing but walk in there against the best trainer in the entire region, quote unquote, and look at him and say, "I have legendary."
No, you can't just look at Alder and say I have a legendary. He actually has a pretty solid team. Like, as far as champion trainers go, the only reason people don't count him because he's not actually the final boss.
The frame of which the game presents it, when you arrive in the room,
I just remember her name.
it is just you versus N's legendary, which
It
means
is or is not a joke.
which means one of two things: either N fucking hyper potion Reshiram before you came in the room, or Reshiram just looked at the Alder team and said,
I mean, his legendary is just kind of throwaway because I mean, you just kind of out DPS it. But I think is it weaker than yours? And I think it's the same level. But,
we're not talking about practicals.
I don't remember his team being like mega solid.
We're not talking about practicals right now. We're just talking about the compelling / interestingness of it, which is the fact that basically canon presentation wise, here random kid busts through window, beats orange headed man. Why don't I remember a lot of whistling? Oh, I remember. I know why I remember a lot of whistling now, because that was my go-to. Every time I run into a wall, the first thing I do is whistle, and then I'd be like, get one more shot.
Okay, so now killing the butterflies is just all you do. Is it deactivates the crystal's barrier.
Like, if you wanted to go down the list, you have literally, the first compelling conflict of any Pokemon series, and probably the thing that you would get regardless, even if you started the entire thing over today, which is a random rival character that you know from your hometown gets there before you do, and then says, "I'm the best trainer in the world," and then you wax him.
I kind of like how. Not that I've made it there yet, but how Gen 9 handles that, where instead of your rival just, since there are multiple champions, you get to fight your rival as the actual end of that path. Which is way better than just ending on Gita, because,
I mean, if you want to know my opinion, my problem is that as far as I know in terms of that game story, where are my other champions?
I don't know, and I try not to think about that.
That's a thought that I had when I thought about that concept, and I immediately was like, but wait, why didn't they even remotely try to throw in someone else that was a quote-unquote champion?
So there was an excuse to fight her at the end, like it was more important than when you fought May.
Well, that's my thing is that my problem is the world building of it. Because if this is like a thing, and like there's more than like actually just Nimona and Vita, you know, there's not a point in the game where you present me with someone who's not Nimona and Vita that's a champion. Even if they're just like, you know, the most throwaway of throwaway characters.
Yeah, but they did it before, so why not do it again?
And you know,
If the target audience never changed, it's still 9-year-olds.
And then you know you go into 2. Somehow a flying type trainer becomes champion. Still acting like it's okay to just run his flying type, but technically it's not wrong because his team still has solid typing despite the fact that, you know, his entire team's flying type. Because, you know, he's still using some solid picks.
Hey man, why not just use 3 Dragonite? It's like the best thing in Gen 2 anyway.
He does.
All the best, that's what I know. All the best trainers have Dragonite.
I mean, like I said, I was like, he's still using solid picks. You know, despite Lance being heavily mono, man still has an okay team. The Academy 8 tournament has a champion as title.
What is what you just said though? Is that like a post game thing? Why am I being a little cringe? What did I say? Which one? You have to be more specific because I've been whipping a lot.
I think the one with the what you call it.
Okay. In my defense, when she hits me, I'm inflicted with slow.
This is true.
I have no more magic to make her slow, so I got hit with slow, and dodging became really hard. That's why I'm talking about. The floating chick, when she hits me, inflicts me with slow. And when I went into Guardian Spirit, she hit me some more, and so I lost Guardian Spirit meter.
Kyle, I know what I need to do. I need to stream, and I am going to stream Elden Ring, and I'm going to play it how I play it, so you can watch me play the entire game over encumbered. Rematches, you can do one set of. That's too far for me. Like, I don't need that. After all of that, like,
what?
I need that.
I don't know what you're saying right now. Have you used the sleep recently?
What you talking about?
Nothing. I don't know what I'm not sure what he's referring to.
Who? Kyle?
I don't know.
Oh, I think he's talking. I think he's responding to what I said.
Oh.
Like, you know, that's like a lot. To have to literally sit there and go through not only the entire game, but all the gym fights just to get a thing to finally get like a hint of established world building. Like that's too much for me. Too far.
God damn! God. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, like, you know, I happened to get sideswiped by an axe one time and then I died because they were swinging the second time. I don't even know, like, how far through I was. Oof.
And then you go down and you run into Gen 3 where you have Steven. And I guess you say Steven's interesting. I guess. I mean he's not bland. He's just kind of a dude.
I like how your description of him not being bland was he's just kind of a dude.
My goal here is to say he could be worse. Yeah, actually, an actual point. Going back to someone else. He could be Alder. And in my opinion, Alder's worse.
Why?
He's just kind of there. Like when Steven's there, like when Steven pops up, it's kind of like, hey, I'm doing the thing. When Alder pops up, man jumps down from a cliff, says some random bullshit, and then just disappears, and basically doesn't do anything the rest of the game. Steven's at least, looking at, Tweedledee and Tweedledum and saying, hey, I need to stop fucking around with legendaries. No. Instead, for some reason, someone that's on water type trainer is. Is there like story for that?
What?
Why?
Oh, Wallace is just watching the gym for his dad. And when in Emerald, the whole idea is that his dad came back. And so he went and took on the Elite Four, because I guess that was the goal of his. And he beat Steven. It's kind of like...
But isn't that just basically like fighting the 8th gym as the champion?
I don't know what you mean.
Like, is his team like different?
A little bit. I don't think he has a mono water type team anymore. But it's like still kind of just. It's kind of like how Steven isn't necessarily a rock trainer, but he's a rock trainer.
Right. Okay.
You wouldn't say he's not a rock trainer, but.
Well, I mean, like I said, guys, like these are the at this point in my opinion, Blue's still top tier. Lance is second because I feel like Lance is a cooler character than Steven. And Steven and Wallace are basically like right there. But it doesn't matter because the next champion just bumps everyone down. It could be because she has 3 brokes on her fucking team, but really. Until it does. because Cynthia literally just takes the cake.
なんだあの大男は。
Is there not a shrine near here?
隠しておる。奴を逃がしてはならぬ。
And most of the reason why could basically just be translated to the fact that Cynthia actually felt like someone sat down and said, "This is her team," and the designer.
Is Mono Wander? Damn.
Well, damn. And, you know, someone sat down and said, "This is her team," and the developers looked at it and immediately said, "Up, This was disgusting," and and literally they didn't know what else to do other than to just put it in the game because they just couldn't look at it and be like, "I don't know if this is too much, man." They just kind of looked at it and said, "This is disgusting." Garchomp, Lucario, Spiritomb, this is fucking disgusting. And then, you know, Gen 5 happens, all this game. I'm literally putting the guy in 5 on the list, honestly. Gen 6 happened. I didn't play X and Y, so I don't really know exactly the intricacies of the story. So I can't put Diantha in my list because I don't exactly have an impression of Diantha. But in terms of 7 is a solid spot for me because did you fight Hal? Or did you fight Kukui?
In base Gen 7 you fight Kukui. In Gen 7.5 you fight Hal.
In 7.5.
How is there not a shrine?
I guess not.
They always put shrines right before bosses. Why?
Or at least close. But now Kukui doing the thing, he's trying to be a cool guy. Not really, not really too excited, not really upset. But when you play Gen 7.5 and you fight Hal, that was actually a cool interaction in my opinion. I liked that.
Oh yeah, technically, isn't that because that's the one where it's actually that you made it to the champion, and you made it through the Elite Four first, so you were actually the champion. So they actually reversed what Pokemon Red and Blue did because Hal was challenging you.
I think that was an interesting.
Technically,
enough
that does happen in refights of 7. I want
because I will say that I actually kind of liked that, how that all played out, and it was interesting enough that I would honestly say that it either is like above Blue or basically under Blue. Spinny Man's cool, so he gets to be above Stevens. That's basically all I'm gonna say.
Spinny Man? What?
You get human to it. But I can't put him above Lance because he has a fucking cape and a Charizard. He's basically just stealing, to insert Soldier Boy meme, he copied my whole fucking flow, bar for bar. And, because in a way, I will say, that's basically kind of the situation here. Is that I'm not gonna lie, the Leon is basically Lance, and Lance wasn't serious. But I'm 90% sure that in almost most depictions of Lance is supposed to be like a serious, broody character. So,
What do you mean? He has a cape.
Exactly.
I don't understand what's going on here.
There's not a shrine.
There is a way to get to the shrine. I've missed something.
I'm not sure. I don't remember how the stage loops. Maybe that's it. Oh, that is it. That is it. Because the shrine's right there. Or I think.
Absolutely running in circles.
Oh yeah, because boss is right there. So it has to be somewhere backwards from where you just came. 'Cause that's the only way you would loop over here otherwise, without having to basically run through the whole stage again. Because that's a pretty straight shot. So, in my opinion, Leon's just like right there with Lance. Slightly more interesting, kind of cooler than some of the others, but definitely not,
You gotta watch out for this boss because she likes to do stuff like that. Ooh.
Woo! I forgot how many AoE she had. Ooh, I forgot that was bad. I know enough about 9 and its presentation to say, Gita's basically like right there with Alder. She kind of doesn't do anything. The team's kind of underwhelming.
Ow! Well, I got all my stuff back at least.
I will say that Nemona literally does kind of just jump in and save that snooze fest, because the interaction with Nemona is actually interesting. But Gita's kind of right there with Alder.
Yeah, but Alder has a good team. Like, I feel like the fact that you're just like leaving that out of this. Also, my issue with Gita is the fact that literally all we're told is how good Gita is, and then she does things like use a setup Pokemon as her last Pokemon.
Smoothie, you can't just use Tinkaton, you got to use other Pokemon. yeah, no, man. I don't think it's fair. part. It's like just trying to find the moment where I can actually see my shit.
I don't want to hear you say that ever again.
What do you mean, Lord? Did her fucking vicious King Gambit save her from a car crash? Like, what?
I don't want you to ever say that again.
Does she have a relationship with her Pokemon like Arvin has a relationship with his Boston? Actually, I feel like that statement's invalidated off the mere fact that unless she has a relationship with her Pokemon like Arvin is in Boston, that statement's just wrong. Because at least, the game presents, Arvin and Boston in a way that makes me say, okay, cool. But saying she has a lore team? What do you mean lore?
I need this armor piece, but I need it to be better.
Ooh, everlasting key.
Also, she uses a setup Pokemon as her last Pokemon.
かたじけのうござりますこれで殿のもとへ裏切り信長様の天下不武の夢が炎に消えた
Okay, my problem with what you just said is that would imply that she's been to Area Zero,
うつしおに戻されしも
which
Thank you,
literally
Kyle.
she can't get to.
Yeah, but why is Aglamora not in the front of her team?
嘆きばかり
I'm not worried about that right now. That's the obvious.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
No, I'm with Kyle.
if we're,
I mean,
if we're being honest here, that Glamora should not be in
信
her
長様
team.
と共にあること
Let alone her ace Pokemon.
This region has been going better than the other regions. I mean, I didn't just beat my head into the wall to beat that boss. We're back to 1 to 2 tries versus, 30 tries per every boss in Region 2. For some reason.
Plus, hot I'm your mage chick.
Yeah, Fugu is back.
Seems you have some history with this place.
打ち明けられぬこともございますが、
I don't like what you're saying because it doesn't make it better. What?
I mean, Kyle, that's not my problem. My problem is it's just wrong. It's just... Because you know, just the entire idea of it, just wrong. Right, Kyle, but that's the whole interesting part here. You know, Spike can be compelling despite the situation. But you know, if you know, because it's compelling doesn't mean that it's also functional. But the argument here is that Gita is interesting because she has a lore team, but she can't have a lore team because she has a Pokemon that literally is in an area that nobody's supposed to be able to get to except you. Which means she literally just has a Pokemon for no reason. Because, I don't know, it floated up from Area 0 and said, "Blurr," and she caught it. Which, if you were really trying to sell the point, could be why she has it in the back. She doesn't know how to use it. Well,
Also relevant.
I don't know what a lore team is, Kyle, so yes. Because again, like I said, he is kind of like Alder. He's kind of there.
Wow! Just got put in the box.
You know, in my headcanon, Elite Four gender is actually champion. Just because I like that character's design. I also still invoke the opinion of, man, I'm also still of the opinion that every time I see Thresher, I'm just like, God, what in the future is this character? Because that model is female. They just didn't want to say it was. You know, it's different when Elite Four gender is. You probably looked at her and said, "That a dude?" And then when somebody said she, you probably said, that makes sense. The boy on your bookie. Why did they give you one? Why did the game literally say, hey, you want that element is weak to? Like, why? But why? Why would it just do that? What? Why did you want me to just do that? It's almost like it's saying, hey, this is going too long. I know. Here you go.
Man, because you can either handle him first or handle his moves. If you handle his moves, you get a benefit from fighting him. That's game design. So you just have super armor to do that. Okay. It's so fun. I think you do something. God. I could care less about that. That's probably completely implied and not an actual thing that is said.
Yes, but my problem with that is that from everything that I've seen of this game, at no point did we establish that possibly was Vita, and without that establishment, I would argue to accept it. Because if this was supposed to be a point that I was supposed to contend, there should be evidence of it. So go ask Miyazaki. Man knows all about leaving breadcrumbs for stuff that he doesn't want to elaborate on. Just so that you can come up with your own theory. Which, in the grand scheme of things, still, why, Elden Ring is so cool is because a man finally made the game that he wanted to make with the vague story world building that he wanted to present. Okay.
But she uses the setup Pokemon as her last Pokemon.
And that's where we've gotten because of this conversation. You know, man, I completely forgot about armor requirements. I feel like it's something that just escapes my mind every time. Because I don't even realize it until literally it's like, oh yeah, you don't have the stats to get the benefits from this armor. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's a thing. Why is that a thing? I have not paid attention to it. I have not paid attention to it yet. If it's anything like Sword and Shield DLCs, no. You know, I actually had someone say that they were not impressed by the story of Sword and Shield in terms of champion. And their whole thing basically was that the whole game basically paints Pokemon battling like a sport, but never does the game ever present these characters as if they are like basically dying because the only character that actually is presented like that in their opinion is Speed. Because their example of what they basically wanted was they would rather the tournament itself be presented in a way that Leon had to be a part of it, which means that if Leon didn't make it to the finals, then Leon literally was just already out.
Oh, you're right, we can't say it.
Nope, you can't say
you made it.
You can't say you didn't make it.
Here, boys.
And so the thing was is that it would have been more interesting for Leon's character to basically literally, you know, have to go through the tournament himself and then have to comment on probably all the close calls he would have. And how cool it would have been in their opinion for the game to like play with the idea of like, you know, basically Leon's semi-final match being against Dragon Guy. And literally being worried that he won't win. I have to say, if the game had done it like that, shit, I might have been putting Leon above Lance. At that point, Leon would actually be a character. But you know, in the grand scheme of things, he's just cool guy.
I thought he was the best. He's in the best Resident Evil game. No, I think you would. I think Resident Evil Leon and Pokemon would actually be interesting.
I don't know, man. That guy runs from boulders. Chris just punches them.
What? Everyone loved RE4. I never know what people feel about RE4. It's never consistent.
It isn't. But for the most part, most people like it. Or I guess you could say most people consider it a classic in the franchise. You know, let me put it this way. People speed run RE4 a lot more than they do most of the others. So, you know, you can't say people don't like it. Not to mention that it is very synonymous with a lot of RE memes in the first place anyway. Such as the joke I just mentioned, which is Leon runs from boulders, but Chris punches them.
As we know, critics are not human.
I mean, I actually did not pay attention to RE4 remake, so I don't know what the actual consistency is on that.
Hot tub dreams. It happened like the last 3 days.
Yeah. Okay, I could see that, but at the same time, let's be honest. There's nothing horror about RE4 to begin with. If we want to be even more honest, the horror of Resident Evil stopped after the first one. Because the first one was, you're in the middle of some abandoned mansion and there's like zombies and, you know, demon dogs and weird giant snakes and shit. But
I think I've had a hot tub stream every stream actually.
But immediately
Those
after
hot springs
this,
are plentiful.
immediately after this, RE2 is literally you're a random cop basically running, gunning your way through Raccoon City to get out in a sequence that literally ends with you getting on a train being chased by some weird giant blob monster that you literally shoot a missile into. Like, there's nothing horror about anything I just said.
But
RE3
which Resident Evil game is the game where you have to play a girl who has this random robot as an AI companion who is so inconsequent to the story that he just starts porting around because he's literally only there because she didn't have a partner in the story.
What are you talking about?
I don't know, it was comically bad.
Watch out, it's the boy.
Let's show him how we do it in Scotland.
He took like no damage from that. Woo! And then, you know, like, you follow that up with 3, which is literally just Jill versus Giant Zombie Man. And somehow wins. And, you know, you could say RE4 was a horror game, but it's literally...
No, he didn't. No, he said that people didn't like 4 for ruining the horror aspect.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that the franchise isn't. Like, that's my point, is that the franchise it wasn't horror since the first game. Because it has progressively been getting more and more just, hey, you're some random badass with a gun fighting infected virus zombie people. And 4 did do a lot, did ruin a lot of the you know, pretend horrors of the franchise, because let's be honest, Leon goes from being random cop that doesn't know what's going on to suddenly working for the president and literally just being a badass. cares about 5. No one cares about 6. It does. But you know, exactly. Actually, that's a good point because you know that actually that even helps me more in the situation because that's my thing. That if anybody is picking up the Resident Evil genre because it's a horror genre, it's a horror franchise. It's not. It's never had it.
With one dodge. Know what he was saying? He didn't say it wasn't present.
That's not what I'm saying. It wasn't part. I'm not saying it wasn't part of its aesthetic. I'm just saying that it's not a horror game. And actually, if you want to be honest, Kyle, I would argue that it's not part of its aesthetic anymore either. I mean, look at Village. Village literally opens up to Chris busting into a dude's house with his goons and just gunning dudes down. There's nothing scary or horror about that. And then the rest of the game is literally just, let's watch random dude named Ethan basically superpowered zombie men.
Yes, it was, Connor. He was like gunning for it. He did not care what the consequences to his actions could have been. There were like none, so it worked out. He was like ready to risk it.
Well, I suppose so, but yeah, from I guess you could say a emotional engineering, to use a game design term I heard once. From an emotional engineering standpoint, I know an individual would make the argument that if you don't feel helpless, there cannot be horror. Because part of fear implies that you know something's coming, or the possibility of something appearing, and you not being able to have the power to do something about it. Well, yeah, Kyle, but I would also argue the same thing about that one, too. I feel like it loses its horror presence around 3. Because 3 is just literally their demons. Punch them in the face. Like, actually, probably the biggest horror part of D3 is when a character turns into something and you realize that not only were they basically someone that you could not save, that you are helpless to do anything about it. And that is arguably probably the only, like, horrific thing that occurs in that game. Because the rest of it is just, you know, Nephilim walk in door, Nephilim shoot demon in face. Monk punch demon in face. Yes, 0 time. 0 time to reflect on it. It just happens, and literally the next thing that we have to do is, oh, we gotta do something about it. We gotta go punch it. Go buy the expansion, man! Reaper of Souls! Irashai! Ooh. That's a lot of spirit.
No, he was just saying that it's kind of weird for people to point out 4 as the game that ruined the horror aspect of Resident Evil, when in reality it was always degrading before that. Right, that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah. Because in the grand scheme of things, RE2 is, you know...
Right, I mean, that was one of his points. Was that 3 definitely was one of the
Well,
ones
yes,
that
yeah, 3 is 100% one of those, Kyle, because 3 is literally, you know, woman being chased by giant zombie man is somehow going to just 1v1 him.
Right, 4 was just where we stopped pretending.
Like, it was already bad enough that, you know, us being able to fight, you know, you being able to fight, you know, what was it called? The ultimate life form, or whatever the fuck it was in 1, with a rocket launcher, that's one thing. It was just a thing. You know, he was nothing compared to Nemesis. And so killing it with a rocket launcher, that makes sense. It's a fucking thing that's supposed to be unstoppable. Of course you need a rocket launcher. But then when, you know, you go into 2 and you basically have the same exact thing, except for some reason it's in a trench coat with a hat. And then, you know, we have random training scene where we shoot a rocket launcher. You know, it was just so over the top that it's just kind of like, why? Yeah, Mr. X. And so then you walk into 3, right? And you're literally against probably the biggest thing you've seen yet, who literally is designed to just kill your boys. And old girl literally says, I'm a 1v1 it. Almost no rocket launcher, just gonna 1v1 it. And so it stopped
Frank
being,
West would never.
And so it stopped being scary monster demon things to just
All
straight up.
real quiet since a certain part
I'm
of the
gonna
planet got
I'm
there.
gonna want it.
Who's Allah?
You know, I think he made a joke.
Was he just making like a joke? Did he mean
I think he made a joke.
like
I'm not
actual
sure.
Allah?
I didn't read
or-
it because I was talking. Like, you know, that was my point, is that, you know, yeah, that's basically the situation that people apparently are saying that, or, you know, people's complaint is that RE4, you know, took from the horror aspects of the franchise, and I'm like, but it really didn't, because we already started that process all the way back in 2. We just progressed more and more to the point where we suddenly went from, ooh, horror zombie scary to just let's go be badasses fighting fucking zombies. Because you know, again,
Who doesn't want to do that?
5 is even worse. Because 5 is literally, you know, Chris being like, man, I miss my partner. Man, you know, my partner was real good. Oh, hey, foreign, you know, chick. You're my partner now? Oh, that's cool. Well, I miss my old partner. Until, you know, Wesker shows up, and Wesker literally just turns into a fucking anime character.
All right, that's what we're saying, Carter. We're saying that, you know, 3 probably did it more to harm the horror aspect of the game, but 4 is just a game that was just like, you know, people know what we're about, right?
Yeah, like
Granted, we could also assume that Devil May Cry didn't help, since, you know, it was a Resident Evil game that turned into an action game, and it was more popular than Resident Evil. And so, you know, the temptation to make 4 more action focused, when 3 had already done a lot to harm the horror aspect of the game, was probably an easy decision to make. How else you going to get games to make that Devil May Cry money?
I mean, 'cause again, you know, 5 literally looked and just said, look, Wesker's a fucking anime character now.
I thought Wesker was always an anime character.
No. Fun fact, Sean, up until like a couple of side games, the whole thing about Wesker was that he literally just got stabbed by the thing at the fucking end of the game. It wasn't until we started elaborating and adding stuff to the lore that we were like, oh yeah, Wesker's not dead. Turns out when he got stabbed by things, he actually absorbed the virus, and now he's really infected with it. Which means that he's basically like as strong, or not stronger than the thing that you blew up. And so
I
when
thought Wesker was already an anime character.
and so and so literally when he shows up in 5 and man's fucking porting around the place, you just kind of ask yourself, what the fuck's happening?
What? Man made RE4 one of his pitches in the DLC off bug. What? I don't know what you just said. You said a lot of words, and I'm sure they were meant to be constructed in order that made sense, but not the way I read them.
And, you know, no one cares about 6 because 6 is just weird. Like you know, the funniest part about 6 is that when I remember when 6 came out, it was always hard to find anyone being serious about 6. Because every time I go somewhere, someone was just making jokes about RE6. will say I like 7. Is 7 horror? No. But, I like 7. Well, actually, 7 does do a better job. I will say that 7 does a better job bringing the horror aesthetic back to the franchise. 8, however, does not.
I don't know who you are or what you're doing right now, but it better stop.
Like, 8 kind of just... 8 is exactly what I said. It's Ethan versus 4 superpowered demon people. Yeah, like I said, 7 actually does bring horror back into the franchise, but then it completely gets usurped when 8 comes out and dude just literally is out here 1v1ing dudes that apparently have a virus that allowed them to magnetically control metal. Yes, it's the entire point of the character.
I believe it.
He literally shows up smoking a cigar and literally is like, whoa. Kind of in that, just like that, in that voice and that tone. And then puts you in like a metal coffin. He's basically Magneto. Magneto was a grizzled young veteran. Oh, correct, a grizzled old veteran.
He is. That literally isn't Neo. Why would you say that?
Oh.
Did I change to Fushi? I didn't mean to. That's
opinions on My Friendly Neighbor. It's a game, and some people might disagree, but I would call it a horror game. But it's definitely not scary. But it also kind of doesn't make sense because at no point does it elaborate on why there are puppets that are alive, but it doesn't actually need to because it's not part of this world building. Oh, yeah, it's an RE game, but it's not like... But, hey, you say that, but I've watched that game, and I can honestly say, other than inventory management similar to RE4, completely different game. In some shape or form. But the gameplay overall doesn't make it a horror game. It's about the presentation and the interaction between the encounters that you face within such, and how they are basically built and delivered. It's kind of like a joke, you have to have the setup, and then you have to have the punchline, and that is why most people are kind of desensitized to the jump scare. I guess you could say dynamic, because now
Nights at Freddy killed it.
Now people are literally just playing things like that and basically just being like, they expect the jump scare, and so when the jump scare doesn't happen, this actually catches a lot of people off guard now because of this situation.
That was a lot of words again that I'm sure makes sense. But now the order that I read them.
I mean, I don't know if I agree with that, because you literally spend the entire game fighting the mascot. Well, actually, I understand what you're saying now. You're right. It's a weird way to put it, but you're right. It is the anti-mascot game. But at the same time, I feel like Five Nights at Freddy's Club is so fucking watered down at this point that I don't even know why they keep popping up. Right, like I said, you're right. It is technically that, but that's not the horror aspect of it. The horror aspect of it is the realization that the scary part about My Friendly Neighborhood story isn't the fact that you are fighting puppets that seem to be alive. It's about the fact that the repercussions of what's going on are all because of people's innate fear at being unable to trust the unknown and strangers around them.
So you're saying the game takes a psychological element instead of a physical one.
Correct.
That's why you consider it a horror game?
The game's horror is not actually presented until the very end. Because at the very end, the game, the entire time you think, well, what does it matter? What does it matter? And you eventually start, wondering if there's something deeper beneath the layer because, everybody talked about the game. If you walked in the game and you didn't know the story, but you know it from people discussing it, you would know that, people talk about the game as a horror game. And you might ask the question halfway through it, what's scary about this? And, if you actually take the time to look at some of the lore snippets and stuff that is around, you start realizing that part of the reason of why all this is happening is that, every time you go outside, there's nobody. You don't see people. There's no activity, there's no cars, it's just a dark, empty city. And you're in the middle of the only lit up, colorful studio. Just fight it. And your job is to go there to literally do one thing, and that is to make sure that this show does not broadcast anymore. And part of it basically also gets wrapped up when you finally get the newspaper clipping that talks about the lady who wrote to the studio saying that they didn't like the fact that the show taught their child that sometimes they need to care about other people's opinions, because their issue was, what if people try to take advantage of them if they do that? And despite how asinine of a fear that is, the concept that people are at the point where they honestly have become so distrusting of the people around them that they honestly just look at anything like that and say, no, I don't want my child learning how to cooperate or get over their selfish intentions in favor of caring about other people's things.
Is it Kyle? Yeah, it's no death run, Kyle. Didn't you know that? See, Kyle, it's a no death run. There are no deaths.
And so, and to basically kind of like bring it back. Will you? Well, it's going to be pretty hard because you're going to have to clip things that I don't remember seeing. Isn't that right, Connor?
What, you're going to clip every death? Well, that's going to be pretty... Your job's going to be pretty easy since there have been no deaths. I call it anti-mascot horror because nobody
that's
was
the
evil
point.
in tons of indie games.
That's the point. The evil is not the mascots. The evil is the fact that the way that the world has changed itself is literally the
Speaking
problem.
of which, where is Carson? Why is he not here?
Because the thing about it is that what the point that I was trying to get to is that the horror is at the end of the game when you succeed in doing what you were sent to do, only to fall down a hole. And lower level of the studio, you wake up and literally there's like nobody around, and your helper, or you're basically the only thing that you know is familiar. You know, Ricky calls you, and Ricky is like, oh, thank God you're alive. And then Ricky mentions how you're in a bad spot, and that is because the horror that is revealed is that Ricky reveals that they actually looked at television in a world where the most popular things are real life crime shows and stuff centered around dramatic, presentation. And because of this, puppets only do one thing, and that was being a friendly neighbor. And so when they were exposed to this, Ricky mentions that some of them were not receptive and didn't know what to do with the stuff they were doing. And this is what creates the horror, is the end of the game is that you finally encounter mascots that aren't friendly and that are actually, walking around with fucking sickles and shit.
Unfriendly.
Designing the unfriendly neighborhood.
I was thinking that one kind of wrote itself though.
Also, if we're gonna say that stuff like Five Nights at Freddy's is gore heavy, it's not. Especially
don't
not
say that around Matt.
especially not at Colonel.
Don't say that around Matt.
It's just that a guy wrote something and was very misguided in what he was writing, and he probably watched a little bit of MatPat videos, and he started to finally get a hold of what he needed to do until he finally, pulled the rug out from MatPat and took over the reins and finally confused the fuck out of it. And then MatPat didn't know what to do because now he wasn't in control anymore. He literally looked at him and said, "Look at me, I'm the captain now."
MatPat is a goober. I think that's his whole character.
Yeah,
I think
that's literally his thing.
If you said MatPat wasn't a goober, I'd be more shocked. Connor, say MatPat's not a goober.
And as I've iterated to people before, as far as I'm concerned, anything past, anything security breach on, don't care, not canon.
You don't like that too much.
It's not like that. And also, as an individual that does partake in the lore of horror games far too much, I've, seen enough to say that 90% of the time, ones that people consider lore rich aren't actually lore rich, and if they are, the lore actually doesn't make sense. Because I feel like the ones that I've experienced that actually have pretty simple, concise bases are actually far more interesting than the ones that literally are like, go read my fucking 12 books.
But man, if I don't read his 12 books, I don't know what's going on in the story.
No, you don't know what's going on in the story. You don't know about the animatronic kids or the animatronic shark at the bottom of an abandoned restaurant.
You don't think Undertale is lore rich, guys? I mean, what is lore rich? Because, I could... Wait, hold on. My card's... Are we just talking exclusively indie horror or any indie game? Man, isn't Binding of Isaac like super lore rich?
I comment, but I don't know.
I could say that Hades is lore rich, but that's just Greek mythology, so that might be cheating. Yeah, I went backwards.
I don't really know how to respond because I feel like any game that has like 120 books, you know, the game where it's like, you know, I picked up a report and there's like there's like a wall of text that I can read, but I ignored the shit out of it. I feel like that's probably a lore-rich game, quote-unquote, because, you know, there's stuff there, it's just that I don't care. And hey, the stuff there might actually be interesting, but I just never take the time to actually read half of it.
Is Evangelion count as lore rich?
And off the top of my head, I can't think of a game, you know, that... I mean, you know, prime example, I can't say Deltarune is lore rich because the main point of Deltarune is the fact that half of it is all theorization anyway, until it gets confirmed.
Evangelion is your favorite Resident Evil game? I mean, mine too. Why is the game doing this to the shrine?
And so, like, you know, one could argue that one could argue that something like Elden Ring is quote unquote more rich, but the amount of digging you have to do to even discover such a thing, and then even past that, the amount of theorizing you'd have to do to fill in the blanks and even remotely put two and two together in some space. You know, I don't know if you can really call it lore rich because the lore is very haphazard and there's a lot of context missing most of the time. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that, you know, if that's what you define as lore rich, then yeah, the Souls games are lore rich. But if you're like just defining lore rich as, you know, there's like 200 years of history in the game, you just have to find it. It looks like you had enough fun. At least. Ooh, you are a tight spot. Especially considering that for some reason lightning is still spawning here.
Edward Kelly has mastered the art of just talking people's minds in their native tongue.
この国は千万人に来た黄金の国になる。何？家康様じゃと。あなたが。なんだばわしがよりしろとなろう。
I shall sacrifice myself. My tiger was
Boss, so good. They just had to keep putting it back in the game. Hear that, George? I don't want to make this run. Kyle said I'm the best Neo player. He knows. Gosh darn. I'm tired of not doing enough damage to dudes. I'm tired of not knowing where the shrines are. Owns. Yep, that is what happened. You were not wrong. Where's the lie? That's how fights are supposed to look. What I just did is how every fight in this game was supposed to be looking. Oh, Connor said, I'm the best Neo player he owns. I guess Connor owns me for some reason. I'm not sure why. I don't remember signing that paper. So a Magic Cat dies. Our cat clock is no more. It's okay because he comes back later after we beat the game, just for no reason. Except all souls come and go in cycles. So when we kill enough of the bad spirits, it comes back. Just so that in Neo 2, this exact same thing can happen to him. Canonically after this point. But then he's fine after we kill him. I don't have to. He just died on his own. Actually, technically, the cat Hanzo uses the clock is still fine. Just its ethereal spirit form is not. No one played Yokai Watch. That is accurate, from what I understand. I don't like that I have to give up 80 life for minimal defense. We might never be able to unequip this hat because it increases our magic speed, which is just necessary at this point. Ajit. You know, maybe if I just keep trying, I'll eventually get a decent rarity bow. Or not. We'll take that.
アンジンの国にはどんな刀があるの？
元忠殿は我らにケリー
Well,
に
yeah,
は家康
because
様をお守りするよう命じられ
if
た。
I understand, Yokai Watch is a
殿のおられる駿河へ
less battle
はわしら
heavy
忍びだけが知る早道がある。我が父祖の地である
but I
伊
don't
賀
know
を
enough
越えて
about it
ま
to
いる
actually make that statement. I could be completely off base.
ケリーを追わねば
I
な
know
らぬ
nothing
のは
about Yokai
お
Watch.
主とて同じ。共に家康様のもとへ急ごうぞ。
Alright. No, this is not a first playthrough. I have beaten Neo 1 once. I played more than just the main game, but I've played lots and lots and lots of Neo 2. Several hundred hours. So, less experience with Neo 1 though. I always forget how much slower it is than Neo 2. Yeah. Now this is a yeah. But in general, yeah, that's one of the reasons I like Neo 2. I have done co-op before, not as much in this game, and for some reason, whenever I play this game and try to stream, if I use the network, it'll just drop my internet. Neo 2 is a little bit better about that, but it still does it. Not usually if I'm doing co-op. Like if I'm doing co-op on Neo 2, it won't do it. But in Neo 1, every time I seem to open the network, my internet just drops it. Yeah, me and George here did some co-op, and then once we got to the end missions, like after you beat Nobunaga, we were just kind of over some of those missions because we thought some of the missions where they wanted you to fight 2v1 Nobunaga and a friend could be evened out by having a friend. They just threw in a third dude. So I appreciate you coming into the stream, but I'm actually about to cut it here. You're more than welcome to watch the VOD, but I am about toast. It's 1 a.m. where I am. Even the one with the big sky. Yeah. They like to do those boss gauntlets in this one. I'm not sure why. Yeah, we're about to cut the stream here, so hopefully next time I'm gonna hit the rest of these submissions I have left on region. Where am I? Region 3. Get that submission we saw in region 4, and hopefully knock out some main missions. I don't know if we'll get through region 4 next time. But thank you all for joining, and we'll catch y'all next time.